The world has seen some amazing magicians, and they are all on display in our top 10 greatest magic reveals of the year. So, be it the famous sword stabbing trick or Shin Lim's amazing card illusion. Hello and welcome back, and today we are gonna unlock this year's top 10 magic secrets. So, let's get started. At number 10, David Copperfield's Death Saw. David Copperfield, the most commercially successful magician in history, performed the act of death saw magic, in which he split apart himself in two pieces using a giant saw blade. That was a really great piece of illusion created by him. But here's the actual secret behind it. It's not just Copperfield in this act alone, but supported by one of his assistants for the later part of the body. The actual positioning is done in such a way that together they seem to be just a single person. All the secret lies in the table beneath, and the slight gap between the tables that can easily pass the saw blade through that. The body of Copperfield is bent into the table, while the assistant's upper body is hidden in the table below. But at the end, hats off to the great piece of illusion and synchronization created by Copperfield.
That was great.
At number 9, Darcy Oak's Pigeon from Feather. Darcy Oak, the contestant magician in Britain's Got Talent, showcased the magic in which he got pigeons from burning feathers. But how did he really do it? Let's have a closer look at this trick. The wings that he showed us before lighting up is a special type of paper known as flash paper. Flash paper is commonly used by magicians in their magic tricks to create quick, large flashes of fire to hide out the quick moments that create illusion from the audience. So, what did Darcy Oak use the flash paper for? Using the chance of quick flash of fire, Darcy Oak quickly got the pigeons from his left hand's secret sleeve pocket. That we can see here. So, there is no magic, just the quick momentum of time. I think you just missed that, isn't it? At number 8, James Moore's sword stabbing trick. James Moore once performed a great sword trick on Britain's Got Talent, where he got himself stabbed. First, the assistants placed James on the tip of the sword and left him. A few seconds later, the sword goes through his body, leaving the viewers and the judges completely in shock. The two helpers then lifted him off the sword and he was all good. The trick generated quite a buzz and puzzled millions who just couldn't believe how he's done it. Well, here's the secret. James had a special support on his back, hidden under his clothes. And also, it had a small slot to hold the sword in it. Now, when the assistants place him on the top, the sharp tip of the sword falls and is hidden inside the bottom part, which then enters the hole in the support. This makes James balance in the air. At the same moment, a fake sword appears through his stomach, which has a device that creates an illusion of a sword going straight through him. Wasn't it shocking? At number 7, David Blaine Vomit Frogs. We have all seen Fear Factor shows in which people put all sorts of insects, spiders, and even frogs inside their mouth. But this trick is one notch higher. And if you're David Blaine, the man who's been buried alive, submerged in ice for days, and more famously suspended above London in a glass box for 44 days with absolutely no food, then there's got to be some extreme stuff. The magician once performed a trick in which he appears to vomit live frogs out of his mouth. And even after everyone sees that his mouth is completely empty, he just keeps on producing new frogs. So, how did he do such an insane act? Now, most of the stuff David performs has got more to do with endurance and skills rather than manipulation and stuff. So, the only secret here has got to be lots of practice and extreme endurance. And before the filming began, David had to actually swallow all those frogs and hold them in his stomach's esophagus before releasing them. Now, you must be wondering, how is this possible? This performance was inspired by an earlier act by the famous 1930s regurgitator Haji Ali. So it's all about mastering and gaining control of your stomach muscles. And this is exactly what David practiced for almost 6 months before shocking us all with his superhuman ability. At number 6, David Copperfield disappears the Statue of Liberty. The most famous American magician David Copperfield performed the illusion in which he made the Statue of Liberty disappear from the background of the stage and then reappear back again. The entire trick was a perfectly planned illusion created with camera shot angles and lights. To pull off the trick, a giant screen was raised onto the stage to cover the Statue of Liberty before the audience. The stage, along with the entire audience setup, was moved slowly towards the right, and the backdrop was made to fall, thus making the Statue of Liberty disappear. The setup was then moved back to its original position to make the Statue of Liberty appear again. The lights on the stage were set such that nothing could be guessed as to what exactly was happening in the entire trick. Also, the loud music vibrations distracted the audience in the process. So you must have the question in your mind as to how come the audience did not notice the movement of the stage. As explained earlier, the trick was a completely pre-planned trick, in which the complete setup, which consisted of the audience and the stage, was moved very slowly. That was a great illusion created by David Copperfield, and it stayed secret for a long time to the audience. At number 5, MJ's anti-gravity lean. This trick is not from any magician, but from the most popular and ever known as the King of Pop. Yes, you heard it right, we're talking about Michael Jackson and his most famous gravity-defying stunt. Michael first performed the anti-gravity lean for Smooth Criminal, and later followed this by many live stage performances. Now this was the wow factor of MJ that made his audience to go just crazy about it. The lean was performed using a special type of shoes designed by two inventors exclusively for MJ. The shoes had a special designated groove in the heels that would get connected and affixed to a peg on the stage that allowed MJ to shift his entire center of gravity and make the iconic move, thereby impressing everyone present and around the world.
So crazy.
At number 4, the vanishing liquid trick. Now this magic trick will leave you out in a true puzzle. Have a look before we reveal the secret. Can you guess what the trick here is? In this magic trick, the magician uses a jug that has a smaller jug fitted inside it. The smaller jug has a hole near the outlet that moves the liquid in the gaps between the two jugs, and thus not actually allowing the liquid to get poured in the newspaper cone. At the end, the magician finally crumbles the paper and gives it away to the audience to make sure that the liquid has indeed vanished. At number 3, Jamie Raven's goldfish. Jamie Raven, the famous magician from Britain's Got Talent, magically brought a goldfish in a glass of water. Wondering how? So, let's get to the secret. The secret here lies in the handkerchief he uses to cover the glass of water. There's a small pocket designed in the handkerchief to hold the goldfish. He gets the pocket placed over the glass and gently opens it to let the goldfish fall inside the water, and to make the magic happen. Now you also must have a question as to how come the goldfish was alive in the handkerchief without water. So here's an interesting fact for you. Goldfish can actually breathe directly from air outside of water as long as the gills of the goldfish remain moist. At number 2, Shin Lim's card illusion. Shin Lim, the unbelievable close-up magician in America's Got Talent, performed a magic trick in which he asked Tyra to get a card from the deck and sign her name on top of it. That card was a Queen of Spades. She was asked to place that card in the middle of the deck. Shin Lim, in a quick moment, brings that card from the middle to the top, just by moving his hand over the deck. Obviously, there's a trick even to this magic, and let's reveal that. If you look closely, the top card that Shin Lim holds has a crease at the center. That's because the top card is a gimmick card that is foldable from the center and has a flap in the front, something like this, that makes the illusion of a deck of cards. But the position where Shin Lim places Tyra's card was not in the middle of the deck, but just below the first card, which was a gimmick card, and was easily folded and taken off by moving his other hand over it. This is how Shin Lim hovers his hand over the deck and gets the cards folded and carried away in the palm of his other hand. and finally revealing the card on which Tyra had her signature. So finally, the top magic reveal of the year. Richard Jones's card trick. Richard Jones, the winning contestant magician from Britain's Got Talent, in his final magic act, performed the card trick in which he tore the signed card by Amanda, then burnt the pieces of the card to get the original card back. So how did he actually perform this amazing trick? Here's the secret. The card on which Richard took the sign of Amanda was actually two cards stuck together from one corner. If you look carefully, he folded the first card in half, and then opened it back again and folded it downwards to half. He then tore the card in 4 pieces, thereby keeping the original card folded at the left-hand top corner. Very carefully, he took the torn pieces behind his fingers of the other hand and kept it inside the pocket of his jacket with the act of getting a lighter. Now, he only burnt the extra edges of the piece of card which remained stuck over the actual card and then blew out the fire. Finally, when he opens it up, we get the actual card signed by Amanda. So guys, these were the top 10 magic reveals of the year. Hope you enjoyed it. Which magic trick reveal did you like the most? And did we miss any trick? Let us know in the comments below.